Hello and welcome. My name is Sherry Dawn. Thank you for joining me today. I will be guiding you through about a 60-minute class with a focus on hips, core, and balance. You may need a block for our practice today. But as always, if any of my suggestions aren't right for your body, please honor your boundaries, but gently test your limits. Please join me on your mat. Plug that tailbone into the earth, plug those sits bones into the earth, and let's first draw the pelvic floor up. Draw that navel into the spine. Set the rib cage right over the top of the pelvis, and then relax your gluteal muscles, your butt cheeks. Try to engage through this quadrant, this tri-chakra area without over clenching through the glutes or the hip flexors. Let the shoulders hang down and be heavy. Balance the head, tuck the chin, close the eyes, and turn the gaze of the eyes up towards that third eye or the crown of the head. These areas are your all-knowing, your intuitive self. Breathing long, slow, deep breaths like this. Find the breath in your mind, and then allow the breath to relax the mind, while the mind controls the length of the breath. Connecting the mind and breath brings about a very profound connection. You can control your mental status by controlling your breath. Continue these long, deep, slow breaths, just a few more. I know the mind wants to chatter, the body wants to move. But maintain this for just a few more moments. Now we're going to power the breath up just a little bit. So we're going to take that right hand and place it on the tummy, on the navel point. We're going to take that left hand and place it on the heart. As we breathe, we want to feel that belly puff out on the inhalation as the pelvic floor draws down and the body fills from the belly to the middle rib cage, to the chest. At the very top, pause for a moment and maybe take just a couple of little sips of breath and fill those lungs just a little further. Retain this breath for just a few moments. On the exhale, we feel that belly draw in. The diaphragm softens and the lungs empty from the top to the middle to the bottom. Take 3 more breaths like this. Long, deep, and slow. From the belly to the middle to the chest. Pause at the top. If you need, take a couple of sips of breath. Those lungs to capacity. And on the exhale, emptying from the chest to the middle to the belly, drawing in to press all that used air. One more time. Sips if you need them. Pause and hold. Exhale. A little more powerful breath. Take that one. On your tummy, on that navel center. Typically, it's not windy out, so I don't know why the internet just phased out on me for a second. But we're going to do a little bit of deep breathing here. So a little bit of breath of fire where we use the diaphragm in a most powerful way to press the air out of the body. The inhale comes naturally. The exhale is where we focus. Sorry, we had a little phase out on the internet there. We've moved on to a little bit deeper breath that I'm explaining through here. We're going to do breath of fire. So left hand on the knee or the thigh, right hand on the tummy. Let's practice a couple of times. You can either go through the O of the mouth if you have sinus problems, or typically with the mouth closed, doing it through the nose. But again, honor your boundaries where you're at. Big, strong exhale. Inhale comes naturally. Exhale. Inhale comes naturally. And with your own tempo. Have the rhythm of the pumping of the navel. You can release that right hand. Keep going with this breath of fire. Pick up the speed if you so choose, or move slower to keep that forceful exhalation. Continue with that breath of fire for about 30 seconds. Keep going with your tempo. Big, long, deep breath in. Retain the breath. Exhale. Empty the lungs completely. Hold the breath outside the body just a moment. Retain the breath out. Inhale. Big, long, deep breath in. One more time. Hold the breath. Exhale, completely empty the lungs. Hold the breath. Just a moment. Last time. Full deep breath in, so we do that 3 times. Retain the breath. Exhale. Retain the breath outside the body. Inhale. Breathe naturally. Come back to that long, deep, slow breathing. Just a few more times. unlace your legs or come off whatever easy seated position that you're in. Come on into your mat. Bring the hips to the middle of the mat. Catch the backs of your legs. Tuck your tailbone and slowly lower down onto your mat, one vertebra at a time. Reach those hands up over the top of the head. Get a nice long, deep body stretch here. Exhale, let's bring that right knee into the chest. In and reach it out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach it out. Let's do this alternate knee to chest. Left and right. Giving a little hold. One more. And now when you bring that right leg into the chest, roll that right ankle. Reverse the roll of that ankle. Send that leg back to the earth, reach over the head. Exhale, left leg comes into the chest. Give it a hug. Roll that ankle. Reverse the roll of the ankle. Keep your head relaxed. Mine's up so I can see what I'm doing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, one more time. Give that right leg a nice deep hug. Roll the ankle a couple of times. And then take the hamstrings of that right leg and press that right leg as straight as you can. Point the toe. Draw the toe back to the nose. Point the toe. Draw the toe back to the nose. And then slowly work the hands up the back of that leg. Weight to help draw that right leg a little closer to the body. Attempt to keep the knee straight. If this is too much in the back, bend that opposite leg and put it on the floor. If it feels good, one more long deep breath. Exhale, draw that right leg in. Inhale, release it down, arms overhead. Exhale, left leg comes in. Roll once or twice through the ankle. Take those hamstrings. Press that leg straight. Point the toe. Flex the toe. Point the toe. And then walk those hands up that leg as much as you can. If you so choose, pick that head up and use a little bit of the body weight to lengthen through the back of that leg. Now, the goal of this is not to get that leg closer to the body. The goal of this is to get the back of the leg as straight as you can. So, if a little bend in the knees, that's okay. Just keep working to try and press that leg straight. Take one more long, deep, slow breath here. Inhale. Release that leg and let it down to the earth. Exhale, draw that right leg into the chest. Give it a hug. And this time, across the body to the left side. Be gentle with your low back here. Inhale, reach that right arm out along the earth. That left hand can come to the outside of that right knee as we gently rotate through. You can increase the rotation of the spine by gently turning the head and gazing back towards that right hand. Breathe into this. Be very gentle with this rotation. rotation in the lumbar spine. Each inhale, you find softening. Each exhale, you find more rotation, drawing that right knee to the left side of the body. Drawing that right shoulder closer to the earth. Take 3 more breaths here. Inhale, unwind, draw that knee into the chest. Exhale, long deep breath. On the inhale, send that leg back to the earth. And let's draw that left leg into the heart. Draw it over to the right side. Find that rotation, mostly through that thoracic area. A little bit through the lumbar here. Then we're going to reach that left arm out along the earth. And gently use the breath again to increase the rotation of the spine. Exhale. We get a little deeper, reaching away the knee from the hand. Inhale, softens that rotation a little bit. Exhale, find a little bit more depth here. Find your breath. Inhale, gently unwind. Draw that knee back into the chest. If you feel a little zippy in the low back, draw both knees into the chest. Rock back and forth a little bit here. Relax back. Let's go ahead and set those feet to the earth now. We're going to work into the pelvis a little bit. So anyone that has sciatica or a lot of low back pain from sitting a lot lately, oh my goodness, the pressure on our low backs lately. We're going to go ahead and stretch through a figure 4. So let's bring that right ankle to the left knee. Now, when it comes there, if this is tweaky through that knee, let's pull those toes towards the knee. And then let's take that right hand and put it down into the crook of the pelvis and that femur, right at the bend. And really encourage that hip to open up a little bit and that pelvis to find its neutral spot again. Once you feel nice and opened up, go ahead and draw that left knee in towards the body. Use that right hand and put it through the hole you made. Thread the needle. Clasp the hamstrings of the left leg, or if you can reach, interlace the fingers on that left shin. Exhale. Draw that knee in. Inhale to soften. Same procedure with this. These deep pelvic muscles are really difficult to get stretched out properly. They need a little bit more love. This is the piriformis muscle that we're stretching with this figure 4 stretch. Piriformis muscle, usually when it gets tight, has an effect on that sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve either runs next to it or through it as it descends down the leg. So if this is really tight on that bent knee into the hip, you'll feel it right into your sits bones. One more breath. Excuse me. Inhale, release that. Uncross the legs. Now here to let that go, we're going to walk the feet out to the outer border of the mat and windshield wiper those knees back and forth once or twice. And you can feel how that really loosens that hip rotator up. That's your piriformis muscle. Those hip knees come up. Dadgummit. Heel toe the feet in.
That left outside ankle comes to the right knee. Give that left hip a little bit of encouragement to open up. If the knee is tweaky, pull the toes towards the nose, or towards the knee. Ah, mercy. All right, on the exhale, let's go ahead and draw that right knee into the body as much as you can. Sometimes a strap helps with this if you have really tight hips. You can use a strap on the hamstrings or the knee. Exhale. Draw it in. I'll also give you another note that knee that you're bending in, if you relax that ankle, you'll get just a little bit more draw. Use the breath. Inhale, softens. Exhale, deepens that stretch. As we exhale, we start to compress the trunk and tighten all the muscles. Inhale, softens and lets everything come back to a neutral. Let's give it one more long, deep, slow breath here. And inhale to release. Uncross. Windshield wiper if you need that. Alrighty, let's heel toe those feet in. Exhale, draw both knees into the chest, cross the ankles, and begin to initiate a head-to-tail roll. If this is too much for you, draw the knees into the chest, roll over to one side, press up. Just coming up any way that you can. So now we're going to come into all fours. So if you've rolled up, roll on through into all fours. If you have knee issues, grab your blanket, get it up under your knees. If you have wrist issues, grab your blanket, get it up under your wrists so that you can adjust the angle of the wrist or how much pressure goes through those knees. So now we're going to just press those hands into the earth. On the inhale, let that navel descend towards the earth. Turn the tailbone up. Open through the heart and gaze up. Be careful not to drop that head back too far. Exhale. Initiate by tucking the tailbone, rounding through the spine. Allow the head to hang loosely. And with your breath, moving through cat-cow. Using the breath to initiate the movement. Inhale, opening up to cow. Exhale, this time let's curl the toes into the mat, round through the spine, press through the hands, and begin to press the knees up off the earth and the hips to the sky. Pushing into a nice, gentle, slow, downward-facing dog. Rock the weight back and forth, keep the knees bent, but pedal the legs gently back and forth. We're just getting the body used to being into this position. Inhale, come down. Come into cow. Exhale. Round through the spine, tuck the tailbone, press through the hands and feet, lift the knees. Bent leg down dog. Pedal the knees again. Gaze up at the hands to see that the hands are level in the same plane, and then relax the head back down. On the next inhale, we're going to descend that right heel to the earth as we draw that left knee in, and then exhale to stretch through that right back leg. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, press the left heel to the earth. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, right heel descends to the earth. Bent leg down dog. Inhale, straight sides again. Inhale, both knees bend, lift both heels, tilt the tailbone up, and gaze to the hand. Start to take one baby step at a time towards those hands, bringing the toes as close to the wrists as you can. Bend the knees deeply, tuck the tailbone, roll up one vertebra at a time. Coming into a tall standing, tuck the tailbone, reach the spine long, reach the hands up over the head, keep the shoulders down and into the spine. Exhale, swan dive out, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, let's come into a half fold by straightening the spine, lifting the head. The hands come to the knees or the front of the shins. We want that nice long spine. We can gaze out towards the floor gently. Exhale, the hips come back up, the body rolls forward, back into forward fold. Inhale, half fold, the hands slide up the shins again, the knees bend, the hips drop, spine lengthens. Exhale, forward fold, pour the body over the left. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming into that half folded position again. Last one. Exhale, forward fold. Let's bring those hands to the mat. So if you need to bend the knees deeply to get the hands to the mat, please do. Now we're going to step that right leg back and behind you. Be careful with this left leg. Make sure that the ankle is right under the knee. If this is too much in through the hips, make it more narrow. Long, deep breath. Now we're going to release that right leg, that right knee to the earth. And we're going to bring the hands up to that left knee. I'm going to shift the body weight forward and back a few times. And again, if this is harsh on that right knee, make sure that you keep padding under your knees. So allow this movement here to open up the hip flexors on that left leg and the hip extensors on the left and the hip flexors on the right. Excuse me again. One more. Drop it on down. Bring those hands back to the mat. We're going to press through the hands and lift that back knee and press it back, downward facing dog. Pedal the knees. Now we're going to find another way to come into that lunge on the other side. So on the inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and then reach that right leg up into the sky. Since you're already on the ball of the left foot, we can exhale and bring that right knee into the chest, round through the spine. that's too much, wiggle that leg up, walk that leg up, do what you need to get that right leg up into this lunging position. And then drop that. Bring into that forward and backward flexion extension. Bring those hands again to that right knee. And shift back and forth. Nice gentle glide here. Let's hold that for just a breath or two. Really feel the opening through the hips. Again, checking that knee, making sure that it doesn't drift left or right. And then bring those hands back to the mat. Exhale. Walk it back. Downward facing dog. Finding your way to get there. Excuse me. And pedal your downward facing dog a few times. And start to walk those feet on up to the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press through the feet. Reach the arms up and come all the way up into the standing position. Exhale. Tadasana. All right, we're going to go ahead and find ourselves in a balance pose at this time. Hopefully the hips have gotten warmed up a little bit, the legs have gotten warmed up, and the arms probably need a break. So, heel toe goes feet out just a little bit. And for those of you that have an issue with your chair or a broom or just something to hang on to, just touching something increases your base of support enough that you can learn to hold the position without the stress of trying to find the balance. Okay? So that keeps you safer. Those of you who do not need anything for balancing, I'm allowing a little bit of time for some folks to grab something if they need. Let's go ahead and bring those feet into a midline position. That brings more of your base of support right underneath the center of gravity, which is at your sacral level. Your center of gravity is right here. So it's S2 technically, so sacral 2. We're going to bring those pubic bones forward. Engage through the glutes a little bit. Engage through the core. Core strength means balance. Bring the palms together. Bringing everything into center line. And now we're going to just gently shift the weight over to one leg and peel the heel of the other leg up. And then pick that leg all the way up off the floor. Find something to stare at or gaze at, which is called your dristi. We're going to open that leg up, and we're going to find the foot either on the inside of the thigh or below the knee on the calf. When you come into this position, please avoid your knee like the plague. Do avoid any pressure through that knee. Now let's press the inner thigh towards the foot or the calf towards the foot. Zip everything back up into the center line. And here we've found our tree pose. And if you want to extend those arms overhead, if you're not hanging on to something for increasing base of support and balance, long deep breath. Hold for as long as you can comfortably.
comfortably up to 10 breaths. Feel the adjustments that the ankle is making to keep the body stable. One more breath. Release those hands down. Unpeel the sole of the foot from the thigh or calf. Turn that knee in and release that leg to the earth. Shake that other leg out because you know it is needing it. And just like that, bring the leg up. You're already on that other foot. Open that thigh up. Find that midline again. Bring everything into midline. All together. Tuck the tailbone. Knit the ribs together. Extend the spine long. Press the palms together. Tuck the chin. Focus. And breathe. If you want to take it further, again, arms overhead. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. Long, deep breath. If you want to take this even further, if you want to get real fancy, you can drop the hand down to the bent leg and arc it over. This is blown palm. And release those hands. Whoops, on down to the earth. Everyone has a bobble. And shake those legs out. All right, let's go through a little bit more flow again, and we're going to work our way into triangle pose from through the lunges and then into triangle. So back to the top of the mat. Find your base of support. Really plug those feet into the earth. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, however you want to find those hands to the floor. Inhale, come back to that half fold. Exhale, find forward fold, hands on the mat, right foot steps back. Long deep breath here. Roll that right heel down to the earth and really press the outer border of that right foot to the earth. If this is too much in the hips, step that foot closer in. Narrow your stance. Now let's straighten that forward leg. Gaze down and see that that front heel is right in line with that back ankle. Lengthen the spine and set either that left hand on the ankle, the earth, or bringing it up onto the leg. Again, avoid pressure through the knee. The hand is either on the thigh or the calf. On the next inhale, reach that other arm up into the sky. I'm going to walk my feet out now. And really reach the arms away from each other. Open up your wings. Gaze to the sky. Tuck that tailbone. Tuck those ribs in. Find one long line of energy from the back heel all the way up to that reaching hand. From that front heel all the way up through that downward pressed arm to the upward reaching arm. One more breath. And releasing. Slowly allow that reaching arm up to come back down to the earth. Bend that forward knee. That back heel off the earth. Find your lunge. And now both hands to the earth. Tuck that left foot up. Press back. Downward facing dog. Walk your dog out.
If this is too much on the hands right now, go ahead and bring the knees to the earth and find maybe a cat-cow. Again, personalizing your practice to your body and the shapes that your body is able to make. So let's find that lunge on the other side. We're going to have to reach that right leg up into the sky. And on the exhale, bring that right knee to the nose as you shift the body weight forward. Tucking the tailbone. Really reach those hips up into the sky. As you roll that body forward, that helps to bring that right leg right between the hands. Set that left heel down. Straighten that right leg out. And now on the inhale, unfurl that upward reaching arm. Press the arms away. Balance the head. Check the alignment of your feet. Play with your triangle pose. Really press those feet to the earth. Take long, deep, slow breaths. Really work at perfecting your personal shape. Your personal shape might be here. This is okay. If your hips are really tight, that's okay. We're still lengthening through the spine. We're still reaching those arms apart. We're still opening and learning to stack those hips. This triangle fit as this triangle. If your body is able to hold this here, be here. Otherwise, honor your boundaries. One more breath. And unfurl. Or refurl, I mean. Hands to the earth. Forward knee bends. Back heel peels up. Hands to the earth. Press it back. Down dog. Pedal through your down dog. And again, if you need to come into quadruped, all fours. If you need to drop down into child's pose, if that was just a lot for your body, honor your boundaries. You are at home, and no one can see what you're doing. But you want to do the best for your body. One more breath. Really start to find a nice downward facing dog. Pressing the heels to the earth. Straightening the legs. Opening up the armpits so that the upper body can come into what I call the hallelujah position. Shoulders are down, arms are up. This is the same position as in downward facing dog. That upper body right here. Long deep breath. Inhale. Go ahead and drop those knees to the earth. Untuck the toes. Drop the hips to the heels. Draw those hands back and hook your feet or bring the hands to the back of the body. Bring the forehead to the mat. Allow the whole body to roll forward. Feel a release through the back of the shoulder blades. Long, deep, slow breath here. One more long, deep breath. Relaxing into this child's pose. And on the inhale, slowly and gently tuck the tailbone, draw the navel to the spine, and
Now bend the knees, place the feet on the mat, press the knees out to the side, and bring the soles of the feet together. Now we're going to find a folded bound angle. So we're going to just gently roll the spine forward, tucking the chin, and letting the body gently come forward towards those feet while we cup the feet if you can. If not, that's okay. If you need some support under those legs, if this is too much, we can always grab that blanket and wrap it around the feet so that it will support how far those legs go down. See, if you take just the sides of the blanket, it's like a stopper on those legs. So if you need that, please find yourself there. Use the breath. Let's inhale, tuck the tailbone, roll up. Exhale, roll forward, and allow the body to slowly drape over those legs. Inhale, roll up. Reach through the spine. One more time. Exhale, roll forward. And as that roll comes into the hips, allow those hips to hinge forward. Inhale, roll it up. Okay, we're going to take one leg and extend it out and in front of us. We're going to pull those toes towards the knee and the nose. Bring that leg a little bit in line with your pubic bone. Pick this other leg up with your hands and give it a little rock back and forth. Now, if this position is really tight on your hamstrings and you're rounding into the back, like so, if you're dumped into that back, if those knees are tight, bring the blanket up under your hips, okay? So that helps to lengthen through those hammies. If not, we're giving that leg a little rockabye baby. And we're going to rock that baby till that knee comes in line with the other knee, if you can. And rock that bent leg right on top of the straight leg. Find your hips square and both your sits bones into the earth. Now try to lengthen through the spine. This is called shoelace pose. And I'll turn this way so you can see possibly a little bit deeper version. We're going to do both sides. So this bent leg is crossed and setting on top of the other leg. To deepen this, if you're good here, go ahead and roll forward. Let that heart come towards that bent knee. Reach out towards that extended leg. If this is too much, again, just try to be here. We're stretching, again, those hip rotators, and you're really going to feel it in the backs of the booty and in the sides of the hip. Feels like someone's really driving a tight, tight nail into that hip. So exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, roll it forward. Reach those arms out. Use your breath. And if you can, bring that heart to the knee and the elbows are bent. Lift them up so that it opens through the heart. One more breath here. I'm going to inhale and roll it up.
both knees. Push the knees out. Straighten the opposite leg. And then pick up that unstretched leg, that opposite side. Rock it back and forth. Really working those rotators out, easing those up. And now find yourself, both knees stacking, toes pulling back towards the navel. That opposite heel in as close to the hip as possible. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Deepening that stretch through the hip rotators and the hamstrings on the opposite leg. The more you can pull those toes back on that straight leg, the more you get the back of that straight leg. Inhale and exhale. Find 5 more breaths here if you can. Again, if you can reach that foot, keep those elbows bent and up to keep that heart open. Try one more long, deep breath. Inhale. Roll it up. Unwind those legs. Bump those knees up and down. Open those legs. Roll those heels and knees and hips in and out. All right. Now, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet back together and bring the legs into a nice comfortable position. Sit up tall. Inhale, open your arms up and out. Exhale, give yourself a hug, crossing the arms. Keep the shoulders down, spine long, elbows up. Inhale, open up, exhale, reverse the cross of the arms. Give yourselves another big hug. Inhale, open those arms up wide as you can. Exhale, cross the arms. Stop right here with the arms crossed. Now bend the elbows and rotate that top arm to the outside of the inside arm and try to bring the palms together. Feel that stretch behind those shoulder blades. So here we're in the upper extremity part of cow face. So basically a very similar stretch to the stretch we just did, the shoelace. Gets into the very back of the body. Long deep breath. Keep working at leveling those arms. The femur, or the humerus, the arm bone should be about parallel to the earth. We can possibly bring those hands into the nose. There's your eagle arm. One more breath. Inhale and wind. Big, deep breath. Exhale, let's get to that other side. Stop on your cross. Bend the elbows. Begin to wrap the hands together. Palms come together. Elbows up. Shoulders down. And again, I'll give you that side view here. For the alignment, we want spine long. Elbows up, shoulders down. Bring those hands in towards your beak. This is your beak. You are eagle arms. bodies need this. Inhale, unwind. Open those arms up. Exhale, release the arms down and roll the shoulders. Reverse roll the shoulders. Bring the knees up. Feet to the earth. Grab your blanket if you need to cover up for your Shavasana, if your house is nice and warm, or you've brought your body temperature up a little bit with some of these stretches. Find yourself in your most comfortable position. Roll yourself on down. Tuck the tailbone. Get maybe an eye pillow or something for your eyes. Putting pressure on those eyes during the relaxation period will help to support that vagus nerve and relax the entire body. So as you're releasing down into your Shavasana pose, why don't you do a knee to chest once or twice, or maybe do a little rotation. Give your body personal movement. So if your body wants to do a hip movement or an arm movement or a head movement, give that to your body now. And now as you relax down into Shavasana, to take the best part of your practice, the integration of all that we've done to and for our body, integrating it with the mind and the nervous system. Allow the mind to get even more quiet. Turn back to the breath. Find again that practice we initiated with, your pranayama, your breathing practice. Long, deep, slow breaths. This is called Ujjayi breathing. Victorious breath brings victory to body and mind. I thank you all for allowing me to guide your practice. Please remain in Shavasana as long as you feel necessary. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for other beings. And may we awaken to the light of our own true nature. Again, I thank you for allowing me to guide your light yoga practice today. Finding new shapes for your body, new clarity in mind, new strength in your breath. Namaste.